Hey everybody, this is James from boxofit.com, and today I'm going to be showing you something that literally came to me as I was going to sleep last night. I'm a amateur Blender enthusiast, and I'm, as anyone who watches the channel knows, a video game nerd. And I had the idea for a single-handed, handicap-friendly PlayStation controller. And basically the idea is pretty self-explanatory, except there's a couple notes that I do want to point out here because I'm essentially trying to give this idea away. I like the idea behind it enough to where I don't really care if I profit from it or not. I've already, or rather by the time this is on YouTube, I plan to have tweeted the link to Sony America, etc. So hopefully someone can take this idea and make it happen. The idea is pretty straightforward. We have in one single sweep of the right thumb, and of course this whole thing could be mirrored for someone with only a left hand, whether they only physically have a left hand or only functionally have a left hand, either which way. In one sweep of the thumb, you have your home button, start, select, left analog, and your D-pad. Right analog is actually handled via an accelerometer and is controlled by actually knocking the unit left, right, up, or down. And that accelerometer would go through some sort of microcontroller such as the Arduino Teensy or something of that nature, and basically have a hardware enforced dead zone that measures the acceleration and pushes it out as, okay, he went this far on the left analog stick, the right analog stick, whether that's negative or positive x-axis, negative or positive y-axis. So by doing that, we do lose the 6-axis feature that is very important to some games, but I can't retain 6-axis without bringing back a right analog stick. And currently, the thumb handles the entire top of the controller. Index finger is going to handle L1 and R1. Middle finger is going to handle L2 and R2. And ring finger is going to handle X and square and triangle, while as the pinky finger handles X and circle. And the idea is very simplistic, and there are things like this out there, but not that I've seen that have really a good, slim design and the ability to be somewhat intuitive, not really requiring you to contort your hand in ways that it doesn't naturally form to. On the note of natural or unnatural hand formations, one of the things that's caused me a little bit of trouble with this design is the strap mechanism. Obviously, with every finger needing to be near a button but not necessarily holding on to the button, you need some way to keep the device in your hand, so a strap becomes required. And if you only have one hand, having a strap that you can tighten and loosen around that one hand becomes a bit of a challenge. So we may have to do this in the way of a like lock and tooth style latch, similar to what you have on rollerblades or something of that nature. That, again, that's what I would call a finishing touch. Doesn't necessarily matter in the long run as long as the device is usable. It would need to be scaled out, prototyped the whole 9 yards. I've tried to eyeball this to the best of my ability. I don't have 3D printing capabilities. I don't have a dial meter. I don't have the ability to just sit there and grab a ball of clay and form it into an ergonomic shape and then say, well, for my hand, this needs to be 2.5 inches here, 1.25 here, so on and so forth. So obviously this is going to take some playing with to make really happen, but I really think this is possible, especially if someone like Sony did get on board, and it wouldn't require any changes to the console, to the game coding, anything like that. just plug it into charge. You could slap a mini USB port on this pretty much anywhere. They don't take up much room, and you could ribbon cable it over to the main PCB and go from there until you just regulate the voltage, and then put it back into your lithium ion, which I've tried to leave plenty of room for in the grip. But that's actually what I'm calling this controller, is grip. And of course, this for the right-hand model would be the grip-R or gripper, and then there is the grip-L for the left-hand model. But you know, there's no need to drag this video out. It's already almost 6 minutes long, so that's pretty much the idea. That's the I can't even call this a prototype, but that's the concept. And hopefully somebody can take this and make it happen, because there's a lot of good people out there who, whether they've served their country or just been the victim of tragic luck, you know, they've lost a hand, and you know, there's no reason to make them suffer from that every single day. I mean, their life is never going to be exactly as it was, but that doesn't mean that they can't play video games. That doesn't mean that they can't be part of that gaming community or use that way of connecting with their friends and family. So something like this I really am passionate about, and I think it has a lot of potential for good and a lot of potential for profit, you know, just from the corporate standpoint. But I myself, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a patent type guy, so you know, I'm pretty much giving this out freely. I'm going to actually post the Blender file on our website, boxofit.com. There will be a link to that in the description. So anyone who's interested in this can, you know, look at it, make sure that they've got everything to the best of their ability, and if they want to try and 3D print one of these up, then by all means go for it. I'd love to see the finished project, do a video reply, you know, get back to me on Twitter, at boxofit. Just let me know.